Greetings, family. I'm coming to you today. Again, this is my TikTok, my attempt to really get notice on what has happened to me and my children. Pardon my voice. I've been crying. I am just so disheartened at this point in time, as I've been telling you about my home, how it was taken through corruption in Prince George's County. And I have several transcripts that I've gotten over the years, and particularly the ones that I got when my trial took place in 2012 and 2013. And so I've been reading through them over the last several months, and I noticed where, different things that should be in those transcripts are not there. And it's not the first time that has happened with this case. They've even removed information that shows that the house is mine, or that I was victorious in one of my trials or something. They've removed it. They've even gone as far as destroyed records in my case. But I am so distraught right now because as I was reading the transcript of my last trial, and whereby it was clear, and it was that microphone drop the mic thing that you have at the end of something where this is it, right? This shuts down any ifs, ands, and buts. But the state's attorney's office had an expert witness, Melanie Mfume, who had a day and a half of expert training in foreclosures. She was only there because of a friend in the state's attorney's office. The expert witness that I had has had decades of training and actual training legally, worked with the different states, departments and land records for different states to go in and clear up things and do what needs to be done. That's just how good she is. They wouldn't even allow her to be an expert witness. My attorney was only able to get her in by making her a fact witness, but then they didn't even want to do that. So they sent out the jurors where they wouldn't be able to hear what she would have to say. So the judge could decide what he was going to allow to be in there. And this particular judge, Judge Robert Nichols, has actually since then retired. But nonetheless, the troubling that I've had, or the trouble I've had with this courthouse since 1998 has been absolutely ridiculous. 1996, you may as well say, with the same judge over and over and over again. But as I was reading my transcript, and I'm looking and I'm reading, and I look up the person, their expert witness, where there was a moment in the court proceeding where my former husband, he had said to the attorney, have the person read the certificate of satisfaction. I've shared this with you all before, but to have her to read it and explain it, have her to define what a release is and what a certificate of satisfaction is. And so at the ending of this expert witness, who only had a day and a half of training in foreclosure, knew nothing about forensic auditing of loans and all of that stuff that take place, and so they wouldn't allow my expert witness. This lady goes on to define what a release is, and then define what a certificate of satisfaction is. And so then my attorney handed her my certificate of satisfaction and said, so can you read this? And she read it. And so she asked her, so what is it that Miss Harley has? And she had no choice but to say a certificate of satisfaction. But because she had been paid and was doing that for the state's attorney for their part of this corruption case, she still tried to make reasons as to why I had that. But the truth of the matter is I had it. What has me so angry right now? What has me in tears right now? And I don't know why, because I've been dealing with them now for over 20 years with this situation. But the reality of it is, I know that God has promised to bring justice to my family, recompense to my family, restoration to my family, recompense and restitution to my family. And I declare and decree this day, however, by hook or crook, we will get justice. Nobody, no attorneys want to take my case because they are afraid of these people here in Upper Marlboro, this state's attorney's office. You remember Jack Johnson? Yes, I'm going to call his name out. Yes, and all of the stuff that happened with him. And so nonetheless, as I'm reading through my transcript, I get to the place where this, their expert witness is doing her speaking and answering the questions. But nowhere in this transcript is what I just shared with you. I went back and I said, okay, let me put in certificate of satisfaction to see if it comes up anywhere. They have completely removed everything that has to do with the word certificate of satisfaction because they knew that that was the smoking gun of sorts. Even the judge himself said, why didn't anybody show me this? Because he knows, they know that I own this property. Now, there's so many others have asked in times like today and in previous years, how in the world can I have a certificate of satisfaction and not be in my home? Well, that's a question for those with the corruption. What is it so special about this house? One of my attorneys said, why is it? He asked the judge a question. He says, why is it that HUD has paid over $1 million to get this lady out of a house that only costs $140,000? This wasn't one of those exuberant homes, but it was in an elite area whereby this house, we were the first black family to be on that street. So I know why. But you might be asking, but why am I still fighting? Why won't I let it go? I can't let the house go because the house wouldn't let me go. I tried to let the house go. But just as I've showed you before, my right shoulder here, where I have these 7 holes from surgery where they rough me up when they lock me up, throwing me back and forth, yanking my arm, doing the handcuffs on my hands. I can't work and go out and get the American dream. I know God has done great things and I'm grateful to be alive today. But as I've tried to get help for that arm, the first question that comes up, well, so what are you doing with your house on Kavanaugh Lane? Okay, when I tried to purchase another home somewhere, the first thing they said, well, it says here that you have a home on Kavanaugh Lane. That's your primary residence. So we can't give you a loan. Is that going to be, so what's happening with that home? That's what they want to know. So the question is, yes, God promised me that I would be vindicated. The FBI, when they called me about Jack Johnson and I answered all of their questions, they promised me I would be vindicated. I will be vindicated. My children and I will be vindicated at some point. And I know the Lord is going to keep us safe between now and then. So I'm begging you all once again, call your Congress people. Let somebody know. The Ben Crumps of the world won't take this case. I've tried them too. Even the NAACP way back in wouldn't take this case because one of the judges, Judge Dawson, was actually a part of the NAACP. So because corruption runs deep. It runs deep. But I know that God is going to vindicate me and my children. And I'm asking you to be a part of that, to just go and just ask your Congress people, what's happening with this lady's case? Why are they removing stuff out of her file? Why did they destroy her evidence? Why are they doing this to her? I'm asking you to ask the question. Because I'm sure you've seen somebody being evicted and you've wondered, why, what happened? Well, the same thing that happened to them could have been what happened to me. People will do whatever they can, whatever they want to do when it comes down to corruption. But I believe in what is right, righteous, and just, and God will prevail. Just like Job, my God, though he slay me, I know he shall vindicate me. God bless you all. Please, please push and ask the question. Because it's me now. It might be you tomorrow.